So lots of businesses are frustrated at the moment. They want to use technology to improve their business profitability and the capacity to move into new areas. They also want to be safe from cyber threats. I mean, I'm sure the IT guy's not exaggerating about cyber threats, but that's a different story. The main problem is business people just don't trust IT people. Not because they think they're being dodgy, but because they just don't make sense. IT people are blah, 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 speed, disk space, antivirus, blah, patching, blah, just nonsense. It just doesn't make sense. And no matter what, it always seems to get more expensive. Just keeping the lights on every year seems to cost more money. Now, before all the IT people out there get upset, I get it. Risks are higher, the complexity of systems is higher, the cost of technical people, that's gone through the roof. And the threat of legal action is higher now than ever. And business owners, well, they never seem to have time to talk to you, but they still don't understand why you're not doing the job. Boom! How the hell are we going to fix this? So I'm joined today by Rhys Kerrigan. Rhys is one of those rare people that understands business, how to use technology and manage the risk. Just don't invite him to the pub. Rhys, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad, mate, not too bad. Good. Thanks for joining me today. Rhys, you heard that. With such a challenge, do we have a silver bullet that can sort this mess out?
So the answer is yes and no. Like everyone knows never to trust anyone that says there's a silver bullet for anything, right? And especially IT people and probably business owners. You know, IT people's favorite word is should. No, that should work. You know, that might work. Yeah, there's never any definite. So
I just want to say I'm wearing a trench coat with a whole line of silver bullets in here, so...
exactly. So no one thing's instantly going to put a business owner's mind at ease and turn every IT decision into a winner. But having said that, I guess the one thing you can do is have a plan, right? And have a bit of a strategy, have a goal, and then work out a plan to get there. So that's where you'd start. Get to know the business, get to know what their staff are like, what their culture's like, get to know where their risks are, and figure out how technology could add real value to their business and also to their staff, the people that work there.
That could be quite a challenge, though.
A plan and the steps to get it done.
Yeah, but that could be quite a challenge, though, because, you know, are all businesses different?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all businesses are different, and their priorities are different. Their tolerance for risk will be different, and the things that will make technology work for them will be different. Some will have, you know, they'll be in the business of making widgets, and so for them it's all about the manufacturing and KPIs and finding out how efficient their manufacturing is. For others, it's, I don't know, legal services or something like that, where it's all about making sure that their staff can build per hour as efficiently as possible. So yeah, and the way you do that is by actually sitting down with them and talking to them about their business.
Like it, I like it. So you're saying listen to what their problems are?
Yeah,
unbelievable!
Ask
I
the
can't
question.
believe that's actually just as simple as why has nobody done this before? I mean, with that, so why does IT management cause such a problem for businesses?
Well, I guess it's like I say, very few businesses are in the business of managing IT, right? They're in the business of making widgets, manufacturing or distribution or professional services. So they want to focus on their core business, what they're good at. And so they should, right? That's what they do. So many business owners either don't understand how technology could help, or if they do, they don't really know the best way to get it done. They don't know how to implement it, or get it implemented in a way that works for them, because like you said, everyone's different, right? So often they just don't know where to start.
Well, realistically, yeah. it's what you said, not what I said. So, well, you know, with that, so what we've really established there is that the environment's pretty complex. And because I mean, one of the questions, you know, I would get asked is, well, what's changed? Why do I need, a part-time IT manager now when I didn't before? I mean, what's your take on that? What's changed in the world?
I think historically a lot of businesses saw IT as just a bit of a cost. You know, there were some computers over in the accounting department, and the focus on the businesses was just trying to reduce that cost and treat it a bit like paper clips or toilet paper. You know, let's just try and keep the cost down. But I think these days no business can afford to see IT as just a cost. Technology can be an enormous enabler for their business and stuff. It can be a competitive advantage for them. And conversely, it can be a massive disadvantage for them if they haven't got it right and their competitors have got it right. We've seen in certain industries, technology can be a massive disruptor. Things like Uber and Netflix have gone and disrupted entire industries. We've also seen, as you mentioned earlier, like cybercrime it's a big deal. They target all companies, regardless of size, location, industry. Everyone's a target. So managing risk around technologies.
Yeah, on that, actually, there was an interesting stat that I saw the other day. So insurance companies have rushed into the cyberspace to insure against that risk. And they used to make about 25% profit in that area. And this year alone, that has dropped to 5%. So there's a whole bunch of them actually putting their prices up and a whole lot backing out. So I think it's Lloyd's of London have now recommended that their partners don't go into the cyberspace until they find out how that's going to settle down. So if an insurance company is running for cover, we should be scared.
Yeah, exactly, right. And if you get it wrong, it can literally mean the end of the business.
Yeah,
it can be life-threatening for the business. So you have to get it right. So you need, these days, you have to have a strategy in place to manage that risk. You have to have a strategy in place to ensure that the technology's helping your staff as much as possible and that it's adding value to your business, that you're not just throwing good money after bad.
Yeah, that's the challenge. So the key point I took away from your first bit there was you got to have a plan. And it's now not about just keeping the lights on. That's what it used to be. But it's actually, where do we find that competitive advantage? Because if you're not doing something, you can guarantee one of your competitors is.
Yeah.
So, once I've had that initial conversation with people and they go, okay, well, I can see why you're doing this, but it's going to be expensive, isn't it? They feel they're going to be they're going to be faced with the equivalent of the IT plumber coming round. They're going, oh, that's going to cost you. That's expensive. Cowboys, they should never have done it that way. Is that true? Does this have to be an expensive activity?
No, it doesn't. It's not going to be free, but unfortunately.
Absolutely. It's not going to be free. I've got children to put through school. It's never going to be free.
Yeah, exactly. but I guess the question for me is, would you rather be spending your money on IT and technology in a reactive way where you're continually forking out money for things to keep the lights on and you're not really sure if it's giving you value for money? Or would you rather have a plan for your technology spend, know that it's working towards an agreed strategy, know that you're proactively working on your business and adding value to it?
Oh, absolutely. The key thing I take from that is that we've got to know where you want to go. Otherwise, we're always looking backwards. We're still trying to use SharePoint as a file system or something like that. It's ridiculous. So, as you can tell, Rhys and I, we're total fans of IT management. We think it's a really important part in a modern business because IT isn't just for marketing or sales or operations. It's right across the business. And risk is right across the business. So we'll be talking about IT strategy, IT management, and how to improve the performance in your organisation. It's going to be aimed at business owners, other managers in the organisation, and IT managers. Because, let's face it, some of you guys aren't quite sure on what you should be doing yet. So, what we'll do is we'll say bye just now, and we'll catch up with you on the second video. Cheers.